Yeah, so this is basically a continuation of the number system class. Okay. So in the first class and the second class, we have been discussing these details. Okay. So I'm not going to discuss it again. I think you remember all the constraints that are there. Okay. They are necessary for your statement based questions. Okay. Now, based on that, I have brought a practice question for you based on the content that we have discussed, we have learned in the last 3 classes. Okay. So a bit of a tricky question. So here you have an expression that is P, and it is given that P is equal to y to the power x plus z to the power y. Okay, so this is the expression that is given. Now we have already done a similar kind of problem, that is where x is product of all prime numbers, y is a single digit. Okay, it's a single digit even composite number, and z is the difference between x and y. Okay. So based on the logic that we have just learned in the last 3 classes, you tell me which statements would be correct here. Okay. It's just a continuation of the content that we have already learned in the previous classes. Okay. What can you deduce about the number P? Okay. So try this one. Try solving this one. All the basic content we have already discussed. Okay. This aspect we have discussed in the class. Only 2. Okay. Somashekar, fine. Only 2. Okay, fine. What about others? First of all, try to find the nature of x, y, and z. Okay. And then this becomes very easy. Okay, Raghavan 2 only. Fine. What about others? Aisha, Adira, 1. Okay. Nisha, fine. Sivranjani, 1. Okay. What about Aisha, Adira, 2. Okay. What about Aisha? What about Vicky? 2. Okay. What about Jyotsna? Okay, so let's see here. Okay. Based on what is given. See here, this is the expression that has been given. Okay. That is P is equal to y to the power x plus z to the power y. Okay. Now x is, what is the term x? X is nothing but product of all prime numbers. Okay. So when we are talking of product of all prime numbers, we mean what? 2 into 3 into 5 into 7 into 11, like this, product of all. Okay. So what will be the nature of x? What will be the nature of x? X will be an even or an odd number? It will be an even number, right? Because we are multiplying this with 2. Okay, so here everything is odd here. And when you are multiplying this with 2, definitely this term becomes even. Okay, so the term x becomes even. Now, what about the nature of y? Y is single digit even composite number. Okay, so here clearly it is given that it has to be even. So y is also even. Fine. Now, z is the difference between x and y. So when you are subtracting an even with an even number, what will you get? Definitely you will get another even. Fine. That means entire expression x, y, and z, they are all even numbers. Okay. So now consider here, y is what? Y is an even number. Okay. To the power of x, another even number. That means what? If we are taking any even number to the power of even, what happens? Take any example, 2 to the power 2. Okay. 4 to the power. What will happen to this expression? This entire expression is even. Till here, everyone is clear, right? That is even to the power even is even itself. Okay, you can take any example. Okay, 4 to the power 4. Okay, 4 to the power 2 is 16. That is again even. Okay. Similarly, here what is happening? Z to the power y. Z is what? Again even to the power y. Y is again even. So again, even to the power even is what? Again, even itself. So again, even plus even is even. So what can you say about the expression P? P will be even. Is this clear, everyone? Okay, we did a similar problem in a last class. That is, I think we did one expression, y to the power x, something of that sort. Okay, but here I have just added a third variable and summed it up. Okay, now just tell me one concept. What will happen if it is odd to the power even? If there is an odd number, to the power even is there. What will happen? Okay, okay. Odd to the power even. Okay. I hope this is very clear. Okay. Now, what if the expression is even to the power odd? That is any even number to the power odd. Okay. Yes, it will still be even. Okay. So write this down somewhere. Now, for example, 4 to the power n 1 is what? Still 4. Okay. 4 to the power 3. Again, an even number itself. Okay. So this is something that you should focus upon. Fine. Again, the question might seem very difficult, but again, the concept is you will go back to basics in solving the question. Okay. So this was just a question for you to practice. Now we come back to the topic at hand we discussed in the previous class, that is statement based questions. Okay. Now again, I'm telling you what is the premise of solving such a question. That is, if at all any question is asked, okay, if at all any question is asked, which option do you select? You select that statement which answers your question. Okay, either it should answer it as a definite yes, or it should answer the question as a definite no. Are you getting this? We took an example also. That is, yeah, if a person is asking your question is asking you a question, what is your name? Okay. So if you say ki my name can be Raghavan and Bright, that makes no sense. Okay. It has to be what is your name? Definitely a specific name has to be assigned. Is this clear, everyone? This is the basic premise of doing a statement-based question. Okay, the answer should be a definite yes or a definite no. Okay. Now, based on what we have already learned, now I brought certain questions for you. Now try solving this. Okay. So try to do it a bit fast. There is a lot of content. I would like to complete the UPSC questions also. Okay. So here the question is P an odd number? Okay, that is the question that has been asked. Now there are two statements that have been given. You tell me which statement answers your question. Okay. That is statement one says P is a prime number which lies between the squares of something and something. And statement two says P plus Q is an odd integer. Okay. Try this one. Squares of numbers mean, Raghavan, that is P is a prime number which lies between what? 50 square and 200 square. All the numbers that are there between them. P can be any such prime number ranging from 2500 to nearly 40,000. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, Aisha, fine. Somashekar, Adira, fine. Manisha, okay. What about Jyotsna? What about Vicky? Jyotsna, very good. Fine. Okay. So here, what might be the logic here? What is the logic for the first statement? P is a prime number which lies between the squares of 2500 and 40,000. Exactly. Okay, that is except 2. Except the prime number 2. All other prime numbers, it does not matter what is the range. All of them will be what? Odd numbers itself. Okay. So here statement 1 does answer my question. Okay. Now, what about statement 2? It says simply P plus Q is odd. Okay. Now, Q is considered to be a natural number. So, yes, natural number can be both odd or even. Okay. So, it can be even or it can be odd also. When it is even here, then P will be what? Odd. When it is odd here, then P has to be even. Then only the summation of them will give what? An odd number. Okay. So in the second scenario, what we are getting is we are not getting a definite answer of P. Okay. That is, it could be odd or even. So that is the reason statement 2 does not answer my question. So statement 1 alone is sufficient. Fine. I hope this is clear. Very good. Everyone got the correct answer. All right. Now, what about this one? This is a direct, straightforward question. The question asked us, you have to find two numbers. Okay. The only two conditions given, two statements that have been given here is statement 1 says the product of those two numbers is 45. Okay. And statement 2 says the sum of the numbers is 18. Okay. So what are those two numbers? Okay. Aisha, fine. Somashekar, fine. Raghavan, very good. Adira, okay. What about Jyotsna and Shivranjani? Okay, very good. Okay, so here, what is the concept here? That is, if you just consider the statement 1 alone, that is, product of numbers is 45. Right? What do you get? There are multiple such pairs possible. Right? That is 145 is one such possibility. Right? Similarly, other one is 9 and 5. Another one is 15 and 3, 3 and 15. Okay. So here we are getting different pairs. Okay. So statement 1 does not answer my question because I'm not getting a unique number here, pair of numbers. Okay. Similarly, if I consider statement 2 alone, what is happening? 18 is there. So again, this could be multiple numbers could be there. 117 could be there. 216 could be there. Okay. Similarly, in one of the scenarios, 3 and 15 could be there. But again, the condition here is what? We are not getting a unique pair. But when we combine both of them together, we observe that there is one pair of number that is satisfying both the statements. Okay, that is the reason S1 and S2 together are sufficient to answer my question that has been given. Okay, I hope this is very clear, straightforward. All right, so if this is clear to you, now try another kind of question. Okay. So here it is given, if P and Q are unique integers, is P greater than Q? Okay, that is the question that has been asked. And two statements have been given. The first statement says, no, Vicky Bharti, it is just given as two numbers, right? In the previous question, one question that Vicky has asked, see, we are getting numbers as 3 and 15, right? There could be another possibility that is 15 and 3. This will also satisfy the condition, right? Now, what is the reason why we are going with C here? Because please understand, it is only asked what are the two numbers. Okay. At the same statement, if it was asked, let's say another question, it was asked, the product of X and Y is 45. The sum of X and Y is 18. And then I'm saying X and Y are unique integers. What is the value of X and Y? Then what will be your answer here? Are you getting what I'm saying? I'm saying the product of X and Y is 45. The sum of X and Y is 18. X and Y are unique integers. Okay. What is the value of X? Now, what would you say? B. Okay. Did you get the question that I have asked? Okay. The question is, I've changed the question a bit. I'm asking X and Y are unique integers. This is the condition I'm giving. Okay. In the question, what is the value of X and Y? Okay. This is the question that I have now raised. Okay. Statement 1 says the product of X and Y is 45. Statement 2 says the sum of X and Y is 18. Okay. So here the answers will be again the same, 3, 15, 15, 3. Okay. This will be there. But what is the problem here? The problem is there are two possible values of X and Y that we can take. Okay. Either X can be 3 and Y will be 15. This will satisfy this equation, both the statements that are given. Okay. Or the other scenario is when X is 15 and Y is 3. Are you getting this logic, everyone? Shivaranjani? There are two possible values of pairs of X and Y now. Okay. So are we getting their values as unique integers now? We are not getting. Okay. So when we are not getting, what will be your option then? In the changed question, the answer will be D. Exactly. I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay. What about others? Raghavan got it. Aisha, Adira, Jyotsna. Okay. Depending upon what the question is asked, the answer will accordingly change. Okay. Here it is only asked what are the two numbers. Okay. So you just have to find those two numbers. Okay. All right. So if this is Jyotsna, I hope this is clear to you what we have done. Yes. ठीक है अब हम यूनिक वैल्यूज की बात कर रहे हैं दैट्स ऑल ठीक है ओके now if this is clear to you now try a different approach okay different kind of question okay so here the question is p and q are again unique integers it is specifically mentioned here that they are unique integers okay now the statement is p greater than q this is something that you have to find okay so try solving this one Ranjini, okay. Aisha, fine. Manisha, fine. Jyotsna D, okay. Adira D, okay. Raghavan D, okay. That is, the question cannot be answered, okay. What about Vicky, Somashekar? D, okay. Okay. Vicky saying C as the answer, okay. All right. See here. Acha, you tell me one thing, everyone. The difference between P and Q is 4. Okay, so what will be the expression? P minus Q is equal to 4. Is this correct? Statement 1 says the difference between P and Q is 4. Okay, so what is the difference here, Aisha? 3 minus 1 is equal to 4. Okay, fine. Exactly. Okay. Aisha has got it. See, please understand when we say the difference between two numbers P and Q is 4, we do not exactly mean P minus Q. That is the first number minus the second number equal to 4. Okay. It can also happen that there is Q minus P is 4. This is also a valid basis for the statement. Is this clear, everyone? Okay. ये एक common mistake है जो most of the students make. Just because difference is given, we mean what? We mean इन दोनों के बीच का difference, P and Q का. Okay. So it can so happen that Q is greater than P. Then it will be Q minus P is equal to 4. I hope this is very clear. So two possibilities are always there. Okay. And this is where the examiner will trick you if the difference aspect is asked. Okay. Is this clear to everyone, this concept? Why it is P minus Q equal to 4 or Q minus P is equal to 4? Okay. Okay. Now, if this concept is clear, now see what we can do here. It says P minus Q is equal to 4 or P is equal to Q plus 4. So what will be the relationship here? If P is 4 more than Q, that means P is greater than Q. Yes. Similarly, what will happen here? Q is equal to 4 plus P. That is, here we are getting Q is greater than P. Okay. Now the question asked is P greater than Q? So from statement 1, we are getting P is greater than Q or Q is greater than P. That makes no sense. Okay, it is not a definite answer. Therefore, statement 1 will not answer my question. Okay. The same way, when we are talking about P plus Q is equal to 4, what will happen? Here again, possibilities, because they have to be unique integers. What are the possible values of P and Q that you can have? It cannot be 1 and 1. It cannot be there, right? So it could be 1, 3, 3, 1. Okay. So there could be possibility. So again, we are not getting unique value. In the first scenario, we are getting, that is when P is 1, Q is 3. We are getting Q is greater than P. In the second scenario, when there is 3 and 1, we are getting P is greater than Q. Now, did you guys try combining both the statements together? Did you try that aspect? If you did not try, एक बार करो. Then try this. Because you have to consider both aspects, right? ठीक है? आपको in the exam hall, please do check out both statements together also. Okay, that is very much necessary. So here, even though here the answer does not change much, but examiner will play with this aspect. Okay. So this is the first condition. P minus Q is equal to 4. P plus Q is equal to 4. Okay. In the second scenario, we have what? Q minus P is equal to 4. And second statement says the sum of P and Q is 4. Okay. So when you solve this equation, you will get what? Q and Q will get cancelled out because this is minus Q, this is plus Q. We're directly adding it up. Okay. So here this P and P will become 2P. Here 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay, that is P is equal to 4. So then Q becomes 0. Okay, when I put the value of P back here. Okay, so here I am getting P is greater than Q. Okay, whereas when I solve for this, it is minus P, here it is P. You add it up. So this becomes what? 2Q, and this is 4 plus 4, again 8. So Q is 4. You put that value here back. So P will be 0. That means in this scenario, in the second scenario, I'm getting Q is greater than P. Okay. So when I'm combining both the statements together, I'm getting in one condition P is greater than Q. In the second condition, I'm getting Q is greater than P. Okay. Again, I'm not getting a definite answer. Therefore, I go with D option. Okay. But please do ensure कि आप दोनों statements को combine करके एक बार check करोगे. Okay, just because statement 1 is not working, statement 2 alone is not working, do not directly go for the D option. You have to check for both. Is this clear to everyone? What we have done? You can, but Manisha, the problem here would be there are certain areas where you will not be able to consider all the values. Okay, that is the logic. Okay, because it might so happen, for example, I'll show you in 2023 questions and all, there would be many areas where if you go by the value method, you will not be able to calculate for all the extreme points. Okay, so that is the reason in the classes also, for example, we discussed the first question, right? The first question was what? P is equal to x to the power z plus something like that, y to the power, let's say something of this sort is there, right? So what was the logic? We could have done with numbers, 2 to the power something plus 3 to the power something. Okay. But the problem here is it may not be true for every condition. That is the reason we went for what? Even number to the power even. You know, logic should be true for all values of x, y, or p and q. Okay. Any doubt for students still here? All clear? Okay. Okay. So if this is clear, try another one. Okay. Another kind of question. So here again you have the question is P and Q are unique integers. Okay. And the question asked is P greater than Q? Fine. is P greater than Q is the question asked. So statement 1 says P into Q is lesser than 0. Statement 2 says P plus Q is less than 0. Okay, and Q is a natural number. Now, based on this logic, which statement answers my question? Try this one. So, Mashik, okay, fine. Okay, we are getting 3 different answers. Okay. B, okay. Okay. D. Raghavan D. Okay. Aisha B. What about Adira? D. Okay. All right. So let's see here what we are getting. See, it is clearly said that P and Q are unique integers here. Okay. And the only thing we have to find is P greater than Q. Okay. So we have to get a definite answer to this question. Okay. Now, in the first statement, we are getting P into Q is lesser than 0. So if it is P into Q is less than 0, so what can we infer from this statement? If P into Q is less than 0, what is the nature of P and Q? Both are negative. If both are negative, then that will be positive, right? If two negative numbers are there, -1 into -2, that becomes what? 2, positive number, which will be greater than 0. Okay. So that means what? That is one of these numbers are negative. Okay. So here we do not know which number is negative. So it can so happen that yes, P is positive, that is P is greater than 0, and Q is negative, that is Q is less than 0. The other scenario would be what? P is less than 0, that is P is the negative number. Less than 0 means it's a negative number. Okay. And Q is greater than 0. Okay. The reason here is either of these numbers is negative number. Then only their product is less than 0. That is the logic. Okay. So in this scenario, what is happening? P is the one which is the positive number. So this will be greater than Q. Okay. In this scenario, what is happening? Q is the positive number. That is why Q is greater than 0. Therefore, Q will be greater than P. Okay. Because P is the negative number. So just by statement 1 alone, we will not be able to answer the question at hand, because in one scenario, we are getting P is greater than Q. In the second scenario, we are getting Q is greater than P. Okay, so no, we are not getting a definite answer here. Okay. Now let us consider the second statement. Second statement says P plus Q is less than 0. Okay. And it is said that Q is a natural number. So if this is a natural number, what will be the nature of Q? By default, Q will be positive. Yes. If Q is a natural number, what are natural numbers, Raghavan? Q is can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth. Okay. Q is a natural number. So Q is what? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, anything. That means it has to be positive. That means what will be the nature of P here? If P plus Q has to be less than 0 and Q is definitely positive, then P has to be negative. Are you getting this, Raghavan? Okay. Then only you will have what? That is P is a greater negative number. Then only you will have P plus Q as less than 0. Okay. That means Q is positive. That means Q is greater than 0. P is negative. That is less than 0. So here what we are getting? The nature is Q is greater than P. This is what we are deducing from the second statement. Till here, it is fine, everyone. Okay. Any doubt till here? That is Q is greater than P. Now, what is the question asking? Question is asking, if P and Q are unique integers, is P greater than Q? So either my statement should answer what? A definite yes, or my statement should answer a definite no. Okay, that is either P is greater than Q or P is not greater than Q. Okay, so when I consider statement 2 alone, what am I getting? That is Q is greater than P. That is P greater than Q? A definite no. Okay, so we are getting that from statement 2. So here the answer will be what? S2 alone is sufficient to answer my question. Is this clear to everyone? What we have done? You know, every student who went with D got it. Okay. What about the rest of you? Raghavan got it. Fine. Shivranjani. Okay, fine. What about Adira? Somashekar. Okay. Right. Somashekar, I hope you also got it. Okay. All right. So again, please remember, when we have statement based or data sufficiency questions here, we go with what? S1 alone. Remember the order. Okay. S1 alone, S2 alone. So if this is already proved, then we don't have to go for, okay, either after this is either S1 or S2, then both, then neither. This is the range. Okay, so this is the order that you have to follow. Fine. All right. So if this is clear, try another question. Okay. So here again, the question is the same. That is, if P and Q are natural numbers, is P greater than Q? Okay. Statements given are a bit different. That is, P minus Q is 0. P square is lesser than Q square. Okay. So again, you have to find out which statement is sufficient to answer your question. Try this one out. Okay, A. Civil engineer, okay. A. A. Manisha A. Okay, what about Aisha? Okay. A. Okay. So everyone went with A as the option. Okay. See here, you have to be. See, what is the question asking? P and Q are natural numbers. Okay. That natural numbers by default, we mean it is positive. All positive numbers. Okay. Now the question asked is P greater than Q? Okay. Now see what is the statement 1 saying. Statement 1 is saying P minus Q is equal to 0. P minus Q is equal to 0. That simply implies what? P is equal to Q. Okay. That is P is equal to Q. That means again here, are we getting, is P greater than Q? So definitely we can say definitely no, because through the statement, by the statement we are getting what? P is equal to Q. Okay. So is P greater than Q? No. We are getting a definite answer. So statement 1 does answer my question. Okay. Now what about statement 2? Statement 2 says P square is less than Q square. Okay. Now please note here, which one will be greater here? If I consider this as the in P and Q terms, if I consider in P and Q terms, can I say Q will be greater than P? I can say this, right? Definitely I can say this. The reason is because they are all positive. You know? Because they are all positive, therefore I can say this statement. Okay. Now here by statement 2, what am I getting? I am getting the nature is Q is greater than P. This is what I am getting. Okay. So is P greater than Q? If I just consider statement 2, I can say what? Is P greater than Q? I can say a definite no again. Right? Because here we are getting Q is greater than P. So does this statement answer my question? Again, it does answer my question. The only condition I have to find is it should give me a definite answer. Okay. And both the statement here are able to give me definite answers. So here, what should be my option? C. Is this clear to everyone? ये एकदम क्लियर होना चाहिए, है ना? यस, यस. Somashekar got it. Manisha got it. Fine. What about Adira? Got it. ठीक है. चलो अब इसमें let me just change the question a bit. Okay, I'm changing the question a bit. You tell me what will be the answer here. Okay. P minus Q is 0. Okay. P square is less than Q square. Okay. P and Q. अच्छा, इसको एक काम करते हैं, यहाँ पे अपन इसको इंटीजर्स कर देते हैं. Okay. The rest of the question remains the same. The question is, if P and Q are integers. ठीक है, हाँ सही है. If P and Q are integers, is P greater than Q? Okay, that is the question asked. Statement 1 says P minus Q is 0. Statement 2 says P square is less than Q square. Q square. Okay. Okay, so you tell me what will be the nature. Which option will you go with? Okay, think about this. Shekhar A. Okay, fine. Raghavan C. Okay. Sudanjani A. Aisha A. Okay. Adra A. Okay. What about Vicky? What about Manisha? A. A. Okay. So what is the difference here? The first statement, anyways, I think that will answer your question because the condition is the same. P is equal to Q. So is P greater than Q? No. Okay. So a definite no I can say. Okay. Now what about this one? How does this change? What is the difference here? Consider to the previous one, previous question. When I say P and Q are integers, what happens to P square and Q square? Why did you say that statement 2 does not answer your question? What is the logic here? What was the logic? Because if you see here, the same condition is there, right? That is P square is less than Q square. Can I write Q will be again greater than P? Can I say this? Okay, so if I cannot, what is the reason? Why cannot I say that? Here Q is greater than P. Exactly. Very good. ठीक है? Everyone, yes, that is a concept, that is negative numbers. Okay, this is something that you have to thoroughly note down. Okay, so please note this down. That is, when you talk about in a number system, okay, the squares of the numbers, whenever you talk about it, okay, that is, if you are talking, let's say, only positive numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if you are taking x is equal to 1, you are taking y is equal to 1, y is equal to 2, let's say. Okay, so here what happens is the square of this number is again 1, y square is 4. So what you observe here, x cube again is 1, y cube is 8. Okay, so what you observe here is, if here y in this equation, if y is greater than x, then y square is also greater than x square. Okay, the reason is because both of them are positive. Okay, x is 1, y is equal to 2. That is, both are positive numbers. That is the reason I can definitely say, yes, if x is 1, y is 2, if y is greater than x, then y square will also be greater than x square. Okay, now what if I tell you if x is negative, or let's say x is positive, y is negative. Okay, what would be the nature of x square and y square? Can I say x square will be greater than y square here? If x is a positive number and y is a negative number, okay, can I say x square will be greater than y square? Okay, I cannot. So then give me an example which justifies this. What would be the value of x? 1. Okay. Y is -2. So here you can clearly see x is a positive number, y is a negative number. Okay. But y square here will become what? -2 ka square. That is 4. Here x is equal to 1. So x square will become 1. So here what do you observe? Even though x is greater than y, but when we square up these numbers, what happens? Y square is greater than x square. The reason is there is a negative number involved. Raghavan, is this clear? What we have done here till here? X is greater than y, and still y square is greater than x square. The reason is because of the negative number. No. Till here it was fine. Positive numbers. यहाँ तक clear है? No. See, when you don't get, you directly ask. Okay. Otherwise, we will end the entire discussion and then you will ask. ठीक है? तो देखो यहाँ पे अभी क्या बोले हमने कि we only said x is 1. We are assuming. Okay, we are just seeking an assumption. Okay, we are seeking an assumption that let's say x is 1, y is 2. So 2 is greater than 1. So can I say y is greater than x? I can say that, right? Yes. So now if I square it up, what will happen? X square is 1 because x is 1. So x square is 1. Y square will become what? 4. Okay. So can I say y square is greater than x square? Because 4 is again greater than 1. Yes. Okay. So please write this down. Okay. So write this down somewhere. Okay. That is, if x and y are positive numbers and x is greater than y. Sorry. And if yeah, if x and y are positive numbers and x is greater than y, then definitely x square will be greater than y square, x cube will be greater than y cube, x4 will be greater than y4, like this. Okay, that is if they are positive numbers. Is this clear, Raghavan? That is, for all positive numbers, if it is greater, the squares of the same will also be. Yes, Raghavan.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, but here in this case, y is greater than x, no, sir. But while framing the statement, you are saying x is greater than y.
Okay. See here, this is something, a formula I'm saying just. Okay, I'm not saying this example. Okay, I'm just
Okay.
using another, just a common reference. That is, if x is greater than y, then okay, let's say in this scenario, if you are saying, then it would be if x and y are positive numbers, y is greater than x, then y square will be greater than x square, y cube will be greater than x cube, y to the power 4 will be greater than x to the power 4. Like this, it will go on. Okay,
Okay.
depending upon which one is greater. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the same thing I'm talking about is regarding positive and negative numbers. Okay. So when I talk about positive and negative numbers, you have to note this down. That is here, see what is happening. X is 1, y is -2. I have taken an example. Okay. So here I am getting x is greater than y. No, because 1 is greater than -2. But when I square it up, what happens? X square becomes 1, y square becomes 4. That is -2, the whole square is 4. So what do we observe here? That is y square is greater than x square. Are you getting this, Raghavan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here, that is if a negative number does, negative number does come, so then we cannot be sure about what will happen to the nature of y square, y cube, y to the power 4. Will it be greater or less than x square? Till here it is fine?
Yes, 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 sir.
Yes. Okay. Now till here if it is fine, now what about the negative numbers now? -1, -2, -3. Okay. This is something that you have to observe, that is, if x is -1 and y is -3, that means what? X is greater than y currently. Okay, because here it is lying here, which is greater than -3. Okay. But when you do the square of the same, x square becomes 1, y square becomes 9. So what do you observe here? That is y square becomes greater than x square. Okay, so this is an observation you should all note down, okay, clearly, because when there are two negative numbers, the squares of the same change their signs also. Here it was y is less than x, that was the sign, and here the squaring of it makes it y square is greater than x square. Is this clear, everyone? Okay. So the only point you have to remember here is, if there are two negative numbers, if I am saying x is greater than y, then it is not necessary that x square will be greater than y square. That's all. That is the point you have to remember. Fine. Raghavan, I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. All right. So if this is clear, now we go to the already we have discussed this question. Okay. Now
Okay.
we go to the next one.
Sir, answer of your question.
Acha, answer of this question we have already discussed, right? This one, the original one, it was C, okay. Whereas when I made it integers, it was one only, S1 alone,
Okay.
okay. All right. So if this is clear, now try this question, okay. So this is something that we discussed, twin prime. What was twin prime exactly? We have discussed this. What is the, yes, exactly. Okay, that is if I say x and y are twin prime, I mean the difference between the two is 2. Okay, so here the question asked is, how many pairs of x and y are possible? Okay, statement 1 says X and Y are twin prime numbers. Statement 2 says the sum of X and Y is 36. Okay. So try solving this one. How many pairs of X and Y will satisfy this equation? Okay, Somashika says C, fine. Vicky says C. Okay. Shivaranjani says C. Okay. Can either S1 or S2 is possible? Okay, you tell me. Is that possible? Yes. Okay. Let's see then. Okay. Aisha says C. Okay. Adira says C. Okay. What about others? Two, three, four. Everyone give. Okay. So let us see here. Raghavan D. Okay. See here. Yeah. So here what we are getting is X and Y are twin prime numbers. Now see, when we talk about twin prime numbers, we say the difference between the two has to be 2, right? So now Manisha, see here. What could be the possible pairs? How many pairs are possible? Okay. So can I say 3 and 5 are possible? 3 and 5 is possible, right? Similarly, 5 and 7 is also possible. That is, two prime numbers, their difference has to be 2. Right? Similarly, 7, 8, 9, 11. 11, 13 is possible. 7 and 11 is not possible because the difference between 7 and 11 is what? 4. Okay. So 11, 13 is possible. Okay. Then 17, 19 is possible. You know. Then 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 29. 29 is possible. 29, 31 is possible. Okay. And so forth. Okay. So here there is no limitation to twin prime numbers. Okay. It can go on. Okay. It could be 29, 31. The next one would be something, something in the front. Okay. 37, 39, 41, 41, 43. Okay. So like this, it can go on. Okay. So we are not getting a consistent answer here. We are not getting the exact number, that is how many pairs are possible. Okay. Now the second scenario says the sum of X and Y is 36. So again, there could be multiple. If we take statement 2 alone, there could be multiple pairs of X and Y, right? That is, it could be 0, 36, 135, 234. Like this, there are multiple pairs that are possible. Okay. So again, this does not answer my question. Okay. Now, if I say, if I combine both of them together, if I combine both of them together, then what will happen? I know that x and y are twin prime numbers. So can I say if the first number is x, then the next number has to be x plus 2. Then only it will be a twin prime, right? Because the difference between the two has to be 2. Okay. So here, if this is the case, then if I consider statement 2, I'm getting what? X plus 2 is 36. Okay, so here it is 2x is equal to 34 or x is 17. That means your twin primes are what? 17 and 17 plus 2, that is 19. So I'm getting what? One pair of x and y is possible when I take both the statements combined together. Are you getting this, everyone? Okay. Raghavan, is this clear what you have done? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Fine. अच्छा, इस क्वेश्चन में यदि मैं थोड़ा सा चेंज करूं, लेट मी से x and y are twin prime numbers, x and y is 36. अच्छा, if I say here, let's say if x and y are positive integers, okay, or let me change it a bit, positive integers. Let me say if x and y are natural numbers, okay. Now the question, the rest of the question remains the same, okay. X and y are twin prime numbers. The sum of x and y is 36. Now the question asked is, if x and y are natural numbers, okay, then how many pairs of x and y are possible? Okay. You tell me which statement will answer my question here. If x and y are natural numbers, which statement will answer my question? Aisha C, Manisha C, Ragan C, Adira C. Okay. Shivaranjani D. What about Somashekar and Vicky? Okay. C. C. Jyotsna C. Okay. What about Somashekar? C. ठीक है. देखो यहाँ पे C. What is the question? What is the change I have brought? That is x and y are natural numbers. What does it mean? That is x and y are positive numbers, right? Positive. They have to be positive. Okay. So definitely statement 1 will not answer my question. So we are not looking in this front. Okay. But what about statement 2? Statement 2 says x plus y is equal to 36. Yes. So how many, it is not asking what is the value of x and y. No, it is saying how many pairs of x and y is possible. कितने ऐसे pairs possible हैं. Okay. So here x and y have to be positive and they have to be greater than 0, right? So what are the possible values? See, x is 135 or x is kya? 235, sorry, 234. Okay. 333. Yes. Like this, it can go on. Like similarly here, the possible values could be what? Is it many possibilities, Shivranjani? That is the point.
Sir, please repeat, sir.
See here, if I am saying x and y are natural numbers, that means what? X has to be greater than 0, y has to be greater than 0. Yes. It can only take values that is 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Yes.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, what could be the possible values here? See, x could be 1, y could be 35. Then it will be what? 1 plus 35 is 36. Similarly, another possible pair is x is equal to 2, y is equal to 34. Again, their sum is 36. Similarly, it could be 3 and 33 also is one such pair that can be possible. That is x is 3, y is equal to 33, 36. Or it could be 4 and 32, 5 and 31. Their summation, all of their summation will lead up to what? 36 itself. Yes.
Yes,
This
sir.
will go on till where? It will go on till 35 and 1. Yes, that is here x could be from 5, it can go to x is 6, x is 7, x is 8, x is 9. Like that, x is 35. And similarly, y could be 35, 34, 33, 32, 31. Like that, it can go till 1. The only condition given here is their summation x plus y has to be 36. Yes. So is this a limited number of pairs that are there? Shivranjani, are you getting what I'm saying? ठीक है. So we don't have to actually calculate कि कितना pairs हैं, वो सब जरूरत नहीं है. The only point here is, are we getting how many pairs of x and y are possible? We do not have to write the answer here. Okay. The only thing we have to do is we have to say ki, okay, yes, this statement answers my question. Because x and y are twin prime numbers. देखो twin prime numbers कुछ भी हो सकता है, 3, 5 हो सकता है, 5, 7 हो सकता है ना? ये it can go till infinity. Okay, Manisha. If I take statement 1 alone, we just saw, right? It is 11, 13, next one, 17, 11, 17, 19, sorry. Like this, twin primes, that is the only condition is what? The difference between the two prime numbers has to be 2. Okay. तो ऐसे कितने prime numbers हैं? Prime numbers तो बहुत सारे हैं. Okay, it is infinite number of prime numbers. ठीक है? And okay, so now why we are not going for, yes, definitely here, if I combine both statement 1 and statement 2, I'll get the answer. Okay, I will still get the answer. But that is the reason I told you in the first class, what is the order that you have to go for. We have to see the order. Okay, so if S2 alone is giving me my answer, I don't have to go for the rest of it. I hope this is clear, everyone. Any doubt? Okay, Manisha got it, Raghavan got it, Jyotsna got it. ठीक है, आयशा, आदिरा got it. ठीक है. ठीक है, तो ये ऐसे टाइप के क्वेश्चंस को आपको थोड़ा सा you have to be very careful. Okay, twin prime numbers, these kind of questions are important. They have not been asked yet, but definitely you should prepare for such questions. Okay, that is the concept of twin prime numbers. ठीक है. अच्छा, ये देखो, ये कंसेप्ट यहाँ तक के भी लिमिटेड नहीं है. ओके, आई थिंक इन यूपीएससी, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर विच ईयर, आई थिंक 2021 or 2022, there was a question asked on 4-digit pin, if you remember. एक 4-digit lock है. Okay, and there are certain numbers that have been given regarding divisibility. Such question has been asked. Okay, this is something divisible to something, है ना. This is, तो ऐसे questions twin prime numbers के साथ भी आ सकते हैं. Okay, it is not necessary. There, the only concept asked was regarding divisibility. Okay, तो ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि बस divisibility based question आए. Okay, it can also happen that there are different ऐसे twin prime numbers के question भी आ जाए. Okay, so that is the reason you have to be careful about these things. ठीक है. All right, so let's move to the next one. This is clear. The next question is UPSC question. Okay. अच्छा, before this एक काम करो, एक question solve करके देखो. ठीक है. You try this just because we discussed. You take a 4-digit pin. 4 नहीं, उसको 5-digit कर लो, छोड़ो. 5-digit pin. Okay. Okay, see, I'm making a question here. There is a 5-digit password. Okay. There is a 5-digit password. And this 5-digit password is an even number. I'm giving certain conditions. Okay. It is an even number. Second is there is a twin prime. Okay. Twin prime single digits are there. Okay, in this. Okay. Single digits are there. Okay. But they are not adjacent to each other. What does this mean? Twin prime, but they are single digits. So what are those prime? Twin prime. It has to be twin prime and it has to be single digit. What could be those numbers? Yes, that is 3, 5 or 5, 7. Okay. 9 is not a prime number, Shivaranjani. Okay. Twin prime is there, right? Twin prime. So we are talking about 3, 5 or 5, 7. Okay, it's there here. What else should I give you here? Okay. Even 1 digit, 2, 3. There is 1 digit which is, let's say, 0. Okay. 1 0 has to be placed here. Okay. All digits are distinct. All the digits here are distinct. And let me make it easier. It will be tougher. Let me say the first number is 6. Okay. So another condition is the number, the 5-digit number starts with 6. Okay. You tell me how many possibilities are there. Okay. Let's say I make the question, that is, police is there. They have to decipher a bomb password. Okay. It is a 5-digit pin. It has to be an even number. The conditions given are, it has to be an even number. There has to be twin prime single digits. Okay. अच्छा, इसमें भी मैं थोड़ा और simplify कर देता हूँ. The numbers are 3 and 5. Okay. You don't have to consider 5 and 7. Okay. 1 0 is also placed somewhere over here. Okay. And the number starts with 6. Okay. So how many possibilities are there here? Okay. Think this through. जो twin prime numbers है, I am telling you that they are not adjacent to each other. इसका मतलब 3 और 5 साथ में नहीं रहेंगे. They are not together. If I am placing 3 here, 5 has to be what? After 1 space or after 2 spaces. Is this clear? What we mean? Okay. So you tell me how many possibilities are there. एक पुलिस को यदि इसको decipher करना है, This 5-digit pin, how many codes, how many times do they have to try? Okay, try this one just as he, because we discussed this. That is why we are discussing this question. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 numbers. How many such possibilities are there? Okay, twin prime, you only have to take 3 and 5. Don't take 5 and 7. Okay, only take 3 and 5. The only condition is they are not adjacent to each other. Yes, 6 will always be at the first. Okay, the number 5-digit pin starts with 6. Okay, okay, 4 possibilities. Manisha is saying okay. 4 possibilities. Shivaranjani is saying 19 possibilities. Okay. Tagon is saying 4 possibilities. Okay. All the digits are distinct here. Okay. All the digits have to be distinct here. ठीक है, मतलब repeat नहीं हो सकता. Zero will be okay. Which place? You can place it anywhere. Okay. Manisha, the only condition is zero has to be placed somewhere. उन 4 जगहों में कहीं पे आपको प्लेस करना है. Aisha 12. Okay. 17. Okay. Actually, I don't know the answer. We'll have to calculate. Okay. But I don't think 4 possibilities are there. It will be more than that. 4 से तो ज्यादा होगा. 12. Shivranjani and Adira, see, I'll give you one aspect. जब भी placements की बात करते हैं, जब भी हम combinations की बात करते हैं, okay, whenever we talk about combinations, if we are talking about multiples of 2, here see, 3 and 5 will come together. Okay. Similarly, 0 and one other digit will come together. So when such pairs are there, the answer should normally be in even digits. Even possibilities have to be there. Okay. बहुत rare scenarios में odd होता है वो. Okay, when you have an extreme case, otherwise it will be even possibilities. 8. Okay. What about Vicky? Somashekar? I hope you got the question. Okay. I hope you understood the question. Uh, are you trying to solve it, or should we do it? ट्वेल्व ओके 12 हो सकता है विकी आई डोंट नो इट कैन बी पॉसिबल व्हाट अबाउट सोमशेखर ओके ठीक है सी जब भी ऐसा क्वेश्चन आता है फिक्स ओके एनीवेज वी विल डू पॉसिबिलिटीज इन वन ऑफ द सेशंस ओके बट जब भी ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं आप फिक्स कर दो पोजीशन को ओके दैट इज द बेस्ट वे टू solve such questions okay for example the position of 6 is fixed okay I don't have to change anything here so keep it fixed okay now I have to have an even number here okay so here what are the possibilities here it could be 2 4 6 8 0 okay 6 नहीं हो सकता because यहाँ पे already 6 है okay 0 इधर हो जाएगा तो you have to adjust okay so let us go to the second condition what is twin prime single digit they cannot be adjacent to each other so can I say if I write 3 here I have to write 5 here let's say I write 3 here I have to write 5 here or here but here I cannot write because it is not an odd number it is said it is an even number so my 5 has to be here yes है ना this is one scenario okay another condition given here is 0 should also be placed here I have placed 0 here okay now this has to be an even number so here it can be 2 okay the next possibility will give me what 6 3 0 5 and here it could be 4 here there could not be 6 the reason is the digit will repeat itself okay हमने यहाँ बोला है it is distinct digits right so here it has to be 6 3 0 5 and next will be not 6 8 yes now apart from this any other possibility there is right that is यहाँ पे 6 है यहाँ पे 3 है यहाँ पे 5 है what if I write 0 here yes exactly 0 at the end so here my number now could be what it could be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 all the digits are possible here I'm not violating any of them that means here 9 such possibilities are there are you getting this that is 63150 63250 63350 are you getting this everyone yes okay now what Manisha has said is also right that is here we have assumed that 3 and 5 are here we can interchange also this that is one of the possibilities will be what 6 0 2 and here 3 and 5 are getting interchanged that is 5 and 3 I hope this is clear everyone okay so here two such possibilities because 3 5 and 5 and 3 here again two possibilities that is 63054 65034 two possibilities again two possibilities here 9 possibilities plus 9 possibilities because again it is 3 and 5 and 5 and 3 is this clear to everyone what we have done are you getting देखो यहाँ पे शिवरंजनी what the last step you are not getting Yes, see, here it could be what? 63150, 63250, 63350. अच्छा 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 अच्छा। नहीं 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 नहीं, मनीषा यहाँ पे भी गलत है. There is one logic we are getting wrong here also. That is, it could not be 63350 because they have to be distinct. So it has to be 450. Okay, so it will not be 9 actually. It will be less than that. Okay, very good, sure engineer. ठीक है. Are you getting this, Manisha? That is, the digits have to be unique. Yes, okay. So here now 5 I cannot write, 6 I cannot write. Now I can write 7, 63750 if all are unique. Okay, 63850, 63950. Till here, Shivaranjani, is it clear what we have done? Yes, ठीक है. अब सब में बस did you understand this? That is 3 and 5 will interchange, 5 and 3. Okay. Similarly, 3 and 5 will interchange, 5 and 3. So here two possibilities are there. Yes, Shiranjani?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, here 1, 2, 3. Sir, this not a even number, no, sir. It is a natural number, but we are substituting it with instead of 0, we are here putting only even, no, sir. Then how, sir, 9 will come?
No, here there is no scenario given, right? You have to put even number, okay? Here you are putting at the end 0. 0 has to be there, that's all. Okay, in the entire 5-digit, a 0 has to be placed. Okay, here I am placing that 0 at the end. In these numbers, it could be anything. Like here could be any such digit from 1 to 9. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So this is, we have digressed from the topic at hand. Okay, let's try to come back. Okay. And so the point here is these kind of questions also you can expect in your exam. Okay. So co-prime numbers, twin prime, okay, perfect numbers, okay, triplets. So this kind of words you have to be careful with. Okay, we'll discuss perfect number and triplets in the next class. Okay, now before going into that, let us now fastly try to solve all the UPSC questions that have been asked till date. Okay, so here you have a question. What are the two numbers? Two statements have been given. Okay, direct straightforward question. You tell me which answer will be sufficient. Aisha, just add it up, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, like that. Okay. In the previous question, just add it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 into 2, 18. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So try this one now. Number system is more important. So which statement answers your question? Shivranjani C, okay. Raghavan C, okay. Adira C, okay. Manisha C. Vicky Bharti C. Aisha C. What about Somashekar? So here again, when you look at it, this is what many pairs are possible. 121 is there, 7 3 is there, 3 7 is there, Okay, 21 1 is there. Okay, so we are not getting the fixed set of how many numbers are there. Similarly, when sum of two numbers is 10, again there are many pairs possible, but when you combine both of them together, you get what? The numbers as 7 and 3. Their multiplication is 21, their sum is 10. Okay, so you get, when you combine both of them together, you will get the answer. Okay, so a direct straightforward question, so I'm not wasting time here. Let us now go jump into the next UPSC question asked in your 2022 paper. Okay, so here the question is x an integer? And two statements have been given. Okay, statement 1 says x by 3 is not an integer. Statement 2 says 3x is an integer. Okay, so try this one. Thomas Aker, okay, C. Okay, okay, Shivaranjan in D. Okay, we are getting two answers. What about others? Manisha B. Okay. Raghavan D. Okay. I share of a D, okay. Vicky Bharti B. Okay, so see here, the question asked is X an integer? Yes. So we should, so we should get a definite, either X is an integer, or we should get X is not an integer. A definite answer we should get, right? Either X is an integer or X is not an integer. So what is the first statement saying? X by 3 is not an integer. So yes, X, let us say X is 1. So what happens? X by 3 is 1 by 3, which is not an integer. Yes, definitely correct. Okay. If X is 2, again, that is true. If X is 3, that will not happen. But for 4, again, 4 by 3 is not an integer. Okay. But what if X is, this is all what? Only integers I'm taking. Okay. But if I take, let's say, X as a fraction, X is equal to 1 by 3. Then what will happen here? X by 3 becomes what? 1 by 9. Now again, it is not an integer. So that means for some integer values as well as for some fractions also, this statement is valid. Yes. That means this statement is not answering my question at hand. Okay, because I am getting both the integer values of X is satisfying this equation as well as fraction value of X is also satisfying this equation. Okay. What about statement 2? Statement 2 says 3x is an integer. Okay, so again I take X is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. In all of this, what is happening? 3x will be what? Here it will be 3, here it will be 6, here it will be 9, here it will be 12. So again, all integer values I am getting. Okay, but what if I take again the fraction form of it? 1 by 3. So if I take x is equal to 1 by 3, 3x becomes what? 1, which is again an integer. Okay, so then here some integers as well as fraction is also satisfying my statement.
Sir,
Yes.
1 by 3 you done, sir. But if what if 2 by 3, 3 that or some other 4 by 5 like that fraction also?
You take 2 by 3. So then what happens? 3x is 3 into 2 by 3. That makes it what? Again 2. That means again it satisfies the statement. Okay. The point is for some fractions also it becomes an integer. 3x becomes an integer. Are you getting this? Raghavan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So if this is clear, so what do we understand? That is for some integers as well as for some fractions also, both statements we are satisfying. Okay. So now we are not getting a unique value here. Okay. We are not getting if x is only an integer or is not an integer, because it can be both an integer as well as fraction. Okay. Now what we do is we combine both of them together. So when we combine both of them together, what do we observe? Yeah, we have some common values. X is equal to 1, where we see 1 by 3 is not an integer. X by 3 is not an integer. Yes, 1 by 3 is not an integer. Similarly, when I put x is equal to 1 here, I get 3 is an integer. So again, x is 1 is satisfying both the statements. At the same time, if I say 1 by 3, 1 by 3, again, what happens is, if I put 1 by 3 here, this becomes 1 by 9 is not an integer, which is correct statement. Again, 3x, 3 into 1 by 3 is 1 is an integer. Again, that is giving me a correct answer. So what I observe here is if x is 1 or if x is 1 by 3. In both the scenarios, both the statements are valid. So I'm not getting a definite answer to this question. That is, if x is an integer or not. So I observe x can be an integer or it cannot be an integer also. Therefore, neither of these statements is answering my question. Is this clear? Manisha?
Sir, that last two steps, can you, that together thing, can you repeat, sir?
See here, if you are getting, see the common values you have found, right, Raghavan? So we have found that yes, for x is equal to 1, it satisfies both the statements. Okay. Similarly, when x is a fraction also, 1 by 3, again it satisfies both the condition that has been asked, both the statements that have been given. Okay. So x can be an integer or it can be a fraction also. Okay, it does not matter because, so here the question asked is what? Question asked is x an integer? So I should be able to definitely say if x is an integer or not. Okay, but what I observe here is in some cases I find x is an integer. In other cases, I see that when x is a fraction also, it satisfies the statement that has been given. Are you getting this, Raghavan?
Yes, sir. Sir, is 1 by 3 is not an integer, no, sir?
1 by 3 is not an integer, it's a fraction.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
No. Statement 2 is not giving answer because see x here, definite answer, see x is equal to 1 by 3. What happens? 3x is 1, right? 3 into 1 by 3 is 1, which is an integer. Yes. Yes, ठीक है. So what I'm observing here is, देखो जब x का वैल्यू, एक बार ध्यान सही से लिख देता हूँ, x का वैल्यू जब आप 1 डाल रहे हैं, 3x का वैल्यू क्या मिल रहा है? 3. जब x का वैल्यू 1 by 3 डाल रहे हैं, तब 3x का वैल्यू क्या मिल रहा है? 1. Both the scenarios, what is happening? 3x is an integer. Okay, so for an integer value of x as well as a fraction value of x also, I'm getting 3x as an integer. Are you getting this, Manisha? Okay, got it. Okay, so I cannot definitely say ki yes, x will always be an integer. Okay, it can be an integer or it can be a fraction also. Fine. So I hope this is clear. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Acha, what is your state of mind, everyone? Can we continue or next class? Continue. Okay. Okay. So then tell me, solve the next one. UPSC 2023 question. Okay. So again, the question asked here is P greater than Q? That is the question asked. So you should be able to definitely say yes or no. Okay. Based on the statements given. Okay. So statement 1 says P into Q is greater than 0. Statement 2 says P square is greater than Q square. Okay. So try this one out. Which statement will answer your question? So Moshe curves V, okay. C, okay. Okay, Manisha is giving different answer. Okay, D. Okay. What about Aisha, Adira? D. Okay. Adira D. All right. So let us see here. We have what we have here is P into Q is greater than 0, right? P into Q is greater than 0. Now, what can you tell about the nature of P and Q from here? P into, it means positive. Okay. Is it necessary? It has to be only positive. Yes, it can be negative numbers also, right? That is, if both P and Q are negative, then their multiplication will be definitely greater than 0. And that is -1 into -2 is what? 2, which is greater than 0. Okay. So P and Q can be positive. P and Q can be negative also. Okay. This is the scenario that we have. Yes, everyone. Okay. But now the problem with this aspect is what? Can you definitely say that is P will be greater than Q or Q will be greater than P here? Just based on this. You cannot, right? The reason is, again, because we are talking only about their multiplication, that is the reason. When we only talk about multiplication, we cannot definitely say कि अच्छा P will be greater than Q. Okay, for example, here it could be value of P could be 1, value of Q could be 2. So then it is Q is greater than P. Okay, but 1 into 2 is greater than 0. Or it could be other scenario also, 2 and 1. Okay, so here we cannot definitely say if P is greater than Q because both of them scenarios will satisfy the condition that is P into Q is greater than 0. Okay, so statement 1 alone will not answer my question. What about statement 2? Statement 2 says P square is greater than Q square. Okay, now from here, can I say P is greater than Q? Okay, why can't I say P is greater than Q? Definitely. What is the reason? Exactly. Okay. So we have just discussed that is, yes, P square is greater than Q square. Yeah. Here you can write P is greater than Q if both P and Q are positive numbers. Okay. But at the same time, if both are negative, okay, for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say P is equal to minus, but P is greater, right? So minus 1, Q is minus 2. Okay. So here when we plot it on the number system, this is minus 1, minus 2. This is P, this is Q. So here we can clearly see P is greater than Q. Okay. But what happens when I square it off? It becomes 1, minus 1, the whole square is 1. Q square becomes what? 4. So here, what do I observe? As soon as I squared it up, it becomes Q square is greater than P square. So you can clearly see a change in sign. Earlier it was P greater than Q. Now it is Q square greater than P square. Okay. So when I talk about, coming back to statement 2, when I say P square is greater than Q square, I cannot definitely say P is greater than Q. It can either be P is greater than Q, or it can be Q is greater than P. Both scenarios possible depending upon the signs. Okay. What are the, if P and Q are taking positive or negative signs? Till here, is it fine, everyone? Yes. Okay. What about Somashekar? Yes. Okay. Now the same thing applies. Okay. When you combine, so statement 2 alone will not answer my question. Now, if I combine both the statements together, again, what happens? The same thing happens. That is, if P is negative, minus 1, Q is negative, minus 2, P square is greater. Okay. Minus 2, minus 1. Okay. What will happen? P square is 4, Q square is 1. So in this scenario, we can clearly see P square is greater than Q square. P into Q. Here it will be minus 2 into minus 1, again 2, which is greater than 0. We are getting many such possible values. Okay, we will get many such possible values where P can be greater than Q or Q can be greater than P. Again, we cannot definitely say even when we combine both the numbers together. Is it clear? So here the answer will be what? D. Okay. So it is not necessary that we can presumably assume. Okay, it is in both the scenarios that are there, depending upon the numbers that we take. Okay, positive number or negative numbers, the question will have a different answer. Is this clear, everyone? Okay.
Sir,
yes.
sir, the second, can you explain, sir, that P is equal to minus 2, Q is equal to minus 1, that corner you written, that can you explain, sir?
P is minus 2, Q equal to minus. See here, what I've done is, ठीक है, देखो यहाँ पे what is happening. P is minus 2, Q is minus 1. I'm taking two values, okay? So then what is PQ? PQ is minus 2 into minus 1. That is 2. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Which is greater than 0. Right? So P is equal to minus 2. Q is minus 1. Satisfies my statement 1. Yes?
Yes.
The same way, can I say, if I square it off, I find that P square is greater than Q square. Right? That is P square is minus 2 the whole square 4. Q square is minus 1 the whole square 1. Yes?
Yes, sir.
So this P value of P and Q again satisfies my statement 2 also. Okay. Now,
Yes.
according to this, what is happening? What am I getting? Q is greater than P. Yes, because Q is minus 1 and P is minus 2. Yes. So Q is greater than P according to this arrangement. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now remember this aspect. Okay. Q is greater than P. Fine. Now take positive values. So we have found out that in one scenario, Q was greater than P. Okay. Another scenario you take, P is equal to 2, Q is equal to 1. I'm now taking positive value. Okay, Raghavan? I'm taking
Sir,
another positive value, P and Q. I can take any values, right?
sir, is Q greater than P? How, sir, you achieved?
I just, यहाँ पे P was, what was P? I don't remember now. In the previous one, I just did, right? What did I write here? What was on those numbers?
-1, -2. P is equal to -1, Q is equal to -1.
So here what is happening? See, if you plot it on the number system, this is -1, this is -2. Which one is greater? This is 0. -1. Yes?
Okay.
Whichever is to the right hand side, that is the greater one. Okay. So this is Q, this is P. So Q is greater than P.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Similarly, when I take positive values now, I get what? P into Q. This is 2 into 1 is 2, which is again greater than 0. So satisfies my statement 1. P square is greater than Q square. That is again P square here is 4. Q square here is 1. So P square is greater than Q square. Okay. So for this value also, both the statements are being satisfied. Yes, Raghavan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But here, what do we find? That is, in this scenario, when I take positive values of P and Q, I find P has to be greater than Q. Yes. So what am I getting? That is, in negative numbers, I'm getting Q is greater than P. In positive numbers, I'm getting P is greater than Q. Okay. So what can we incur? We cannot definitely say, right? The question is P greater than Q? Yes.
Yes.
So we are getting two different natures of P and Q. Okay. So we cannot definitely answer the question. That is why we are going with D. I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, what about Vicky, Somashekar? Okay. All right. Got it. Now, if you have understood this, try one more. Okay. Again, a UPSC 2023 question itself. Okay. So here the question is P plus Q minus R greater than P minus Q plus R? Okay. So it might seem like a very tough question, but it is not. Okay. Statement 1 says P minus Q is positive. Statement 2 says P minus R is negative. Okay, Shiranjani is fine. Okay, Vicky, C, fine, very good. Aisha, D, okay. Manisha, D, okay. Raghavan, C, okay. What about Adira, Somashekar? C, okay. All right, so here, C, okay. So what we are getting is, so the question asked is P plus Q minus R greater than P minus Q plus R, okay? That is, the P plus Q minus R is greater than P minus Q plus R, okay? So when you see this, you can basically what? Simplify it further, right? Because P and P are there, you can cancel both of them together. Okay, both are there, you can cancel them out. Okay, so here you have Q, here you have minus Q. So you bring that here, 2Q. Okay, greater than, here minus R, here there is R, 2R. Or basically, I could simplify this question to what? Is P plus Q minus R greater than P minus Q plus R? Or I can say, is Q greater than R? That is the question asked. Okay, I've just simplified this statement into this. Okay, now what is the first statement saying? P and Q, relationship between P and Q is given. But here the question asked is regarding Q and R. Okay, so definitely I cannot answer. Okay, just seeing P and Q. Okay, if I take statement 2 alone, again, the relationship given here is between P and R. But here the question is regarding Q and R. So again, I cannot find a relationship. Okay. But now if I combine both of them together, what happens? Here it says P minus Q is positive. Positive. Okay. Any positive number is there. That means P is equal to Q plus that positive number. Okay. Or can I say here P is greater than Q? Okay. P is greater than Q. Similarly, here I have P minus R is negative. Or I can say P is nothing but R minus that negative number that is there. Okay, or I can say P is greater than R, P is less than R. Okay, so if I combine both the statements together, I get what? R is greater than P is greater than Q. Are you getting this, everyone? Raghavan, that is, I have combined both of them together. Yes, that is the reason I have got this. Okay, now the question asked is Q greater than R? So here I can clearly see it is not the case. R is greater than Q. So I can, if I combine both the statements together, I can definitely say no. Is Q greater than R? No. Okay, so that is can be answered by using both the statements together. See. Okay. All right. So if this is clear, can we do two? I think how many? Two more problems are there. Okay. Let us just do this also and finish the topic. Now, 10 more minutes. I think these are easy questions. You can do it. Okay. So this is a UPSC 2020 question. The question asked is, if n is a unique natural number between 10 and 20, then what is n? Okay. So here you can clearly see the keyword given is unique. Okay. Now statement 1 says S is a prime number. Statement 2 says n leaves a remainder of 1 when divided by 4. Okay. So you find out what is that value of n. Okay. Try this one. This is the second last question. Okay. And with this, we will end this topic. Okay. Try solving this. Go and see. Okay. Shivaranjani D, Vicky D, okay. Somashekha C. We are getting two answers, okay. Adira D, okay. What about Aisha, Manisha? Manisha C, okay. Aisha D, okay. Now see here, n is a unique natural number, so it has to be a unique value between 10 and 20, okay. Now n is a prime number, that means what? Between 10 and 20, how many values are there? N could be 11, 13, 17, 19, okay. That is the only condition given here is it has to be a prime number and it has to be between 10 and 20. Okay. Now, so this statement 1 alone will not answer my question because I'm not getting a unique value here. Okay. Now, statement 2. Statement 2, what does it say? N leaves a remainder of 1 when divided by 4. Okay. So here I'm getting, yes, n is equal to 13 or 17. Again, when I divide 13 by 4, the remainder is 1. When I divide 17 by 4, again, the remainder is 1. So both these values will satisfy my condition. Okay. So here again, I'm not getting a unique value of n. So statement 2 alone will not answer my question. Now, when I combine both of them together, what do I observe? That is n is equal to 13 and 17. N is equal to 13 and 17 are common here. Okay, so again, when I combine both of them together, again, I'm not getting what? A unique value of n. I'm getting two separate values of n that are possible. So here, what is the answer? That is, when I combine both the statements together also, still I'm not getting a sufficient answer to this question. Is it clear, Raghavan? Somashekar. Okay. All right. So if this is clear, try the last question, and with this we'll be done for today's class. This was asked in your UPSC 2019. Okay. So the question asked is PQ an odd integer? Okay. Statement 1 says P and Q both are prime numbers. Statement 2 says P plus Q is an odd integer. Okay, so two statements given. The question has been asked. You should choose that statement which definitely answers your question. Okay, so try this one.
Sir,
Yes, Raghav.
sir, it's a P, Q, and odd integer means P multiply Q. You're asking or P, Q individually.
No, P into Q.
Okay.
Ranjani, see, okay. Vicky Bharti, see, okay. Manisha, see. Adira, see, okay. Aisha B, okay. Aisha is going for a different answer, okay. Somashekar. What about Raghavan? All right. So see here, P and Q both are prime numbers. Okay. So what will be the nature of PQ? It can be either even or odd, depending upon if I'm taking 2 as a prime number or not. Yes. Till here, I think is fine. No, because again, if I take 2 as a prime number, so again, 2 into something will be even. Otherwise, if I take any other prime numbers other than 2, it will be odd. Okay. So just based on statement 1 alone, I cannot answer this question. That is PQ an odd integer? Okay. Now the second statement says P plus Q. This is what? It's an odd integer. Okay. Now, if P plus Q has to be an odd integer, what has to be the nature of this? Okay. It cannot be P and Q cannot be even and even. Okay. That is not possible. Okay. Even and odd, is that possible? If I have an even number and an odd number added up, can I have an odd number? That is a possibility, right? Similarly, if I have an odd number as P and I have an even number as Q, again, I am getting odd number. Okay. But what if I add two odd numbers? That will give me an even number. So the only possibility here is either P can be even, in that case, Q has to be odd, or P can be odd, in that case, Q has to be even. Then only their summation will give me what? An odd integer. Till here, is it fine, everyone? There are only two possibilities. Yes, okay. So then what can I say about the nature of PQ? PQ will be what? Here, a multiplication of an even and an odd number. What will be the result here? An even into odd will give me even. Okay. Similarly here, what will happen here? Here it will be odd into even. Again, it will give me what? Even itself. That means if I do P, if I consider statement 2 alone, I'm getting PQ as what? even integer in all scenarios. Okay, so is PQ an odd integer? A definite no I'm getting from statement 2. That means what? Statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. Is this clear? Yes. Okay. What about Manisha?
Sir, please repeat, sir, that how only statement 2 is required.
What? You know, see here, PQ, you understood this much, right? Even and odd, odd and even.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So the multiplication of an even and odd number will give me what? An even number. Take 2 into 1. What is it? It's an even number, right? 2. Okay. Similarly, here also odd into even will give me what? An even number itself.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So PQ will always be even. Okay. So that is why statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. Fine. Raghavan? Okay. 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 All right. So with that, we end the class for today. Okay. Thank you for having the patience for that extra 30 minutes. I understand. Okay. All right. So this is one basic topic that we have covered on statement-based questions. Okay. This is only one part. From here, we will also add divisibility part also. Okay. Divisibility-based questions we will add to this, and even conclusion-based questions. That also we'll do in the next class. Okay. Now, if there is any doubt, that person can stay back. The rest of you can leave. The class for today is over. Okay. The next class will be on, today is what, Wednesday, right? So the next class will be on Friday, 7 p.m. Okay.
So,
Yes.
sir, last question.
1 second.